Hello and welcome to Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. I'm your host Umar Malik, and first a look at the highlights. University to provide unique registration number for students. Hindi Divas celebrated. 9-day training program for women entrepreneurs concludes. Vice Chancellor flags off 2-week study tour of students. National Service Scheme Wing of the University of Kashmir organized a week-long training for program officers. And Vice Chancellor unveils Sonzal poster. Now the details of these events. To review the ongoing academic and research activities in the varsity, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed chaired a meeting of heads of teaching departments. Professor Talat said that although he is from science background, but he wants to see all-round development of all subjects in the university.
ये ब्लेम सिर्फ जाता रहेगा वाइस चांसलर के ऊपर कि साइंस वाले थे, सब साइंस को बढ़ा दिया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सोशल साइंस, ह्यूमैनिटीज, आर्ट्स, उनको भी मैं इक्वल वे में ट्रीट करता हूँ. एंड आई इनकरेज ऑल द डीन्स पर्टिकुलरली बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, इवन लॉ, दैट इन एडिशन टू योर टीचिंग, प्लीज encourage your teachers to go for projects, go for without research project you are not going to make an impact. And periodically I would ask Ramshu Sahab, maybe every 2 months or so, you should actually talk to these people separately in addition to the science people. If they cannot get some help from here, we can arrange from JNU, from Delhi University, आपको collaboration मैं करा दूंगा. But you have to be ready to do it. Okay? सिर्फ ये कहना कि साहब कश्मीर डिस्टर्ब था इसलिए हम नहीं कर पाए, तो साइंस के लिए भी डिस्टर्ब था, साइंस वाले कैसे कर पाए?
Dean Research Professor Shakil Ahmed Ramshu said that university has developed students module which will provide them unique registration number to help them to get rid of many hurdles.
5 modules you will see that there is a student module. This when the student just we call for the applications for the research, and the students come to our portal, and they fill up their details, and that will become part of his history, in the university. So that is the student's portal where he fills up the application, all the details, academic information, personal information, including you will see Aadhaar and other, everything will be in this system. And once he is admitted to the university, so his role is in the system just stops. So then there will be a departmental module will get activated. The course details, when did he appear in the theory exam, what is the score he scored, that will be at the departmental level. And then it will come to the dean's level. Whatever tasks we are doing manually at the dean's level, they have been automated here. Like pre-boards you are holding at the dean's level. RPACs, the details will be submitted to these, or extensions. Or we want to put some student in abeyance, his registration because he has got a job.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor Shabir Ahmed Butt said that providing unique registration number to students will improve many structural things in the varsity.
A student, when he's enrolled at the first level, at what you call after 12th, he's enrolled at BBA or MBA, whatever program, graduation first year, we generate a number, unique registration number. And that unique registration number will continue all the way till he is in the PhD. When he moves to the University of Kashmir, he will enter his unique registration number, and whether he wants to go in any kind of a department, he doesn't need to generate that kind of an information. And then same will continue with research, same will continue with any other thing. So as I said, it's a great humble effort, but it's certainly a long way to go. It's a long road, and we need to look at all the aspects, and then put our best efforts to see that how in totality the system can be improved, because that's, I think that is what is important. But again, it's a great effort. I hope that we will link it with all other portals that we have. At the end, we have one university portal where everything is linked, and then information is available to all of us.
Director, Directorate of Information Technology and Support System, Dr. Maruf Qadri, said that ITNSS will comply whatever has been suggested to make the process easy for everyone.
As Dean Saab said, that we have these kind of different modules for students, department, research. Yes, we've had a very smooth understanding on the development of this software. That becomes very easy for us when we have a top management who understands the technology and is very inclined towards incorporating certain technological tools for bringing transparency and efficiency in the system. And Honorable Dean Research has been very kind and very supportive in this initiative. Simultaneously, what we have created is, which is going to be live in the month of April, is administrative management system, where we have complete HR management of a teacher, his postings, his promotions, as well as for the other non-official, non-teaching staff as well.
The Department of Hindi celebrated Hindi Divas by organizing poetry and essay competition on the day. Speaking on the occasion, Head Hindi Department Dr. Ruby Zutshi outlined the importance of the day.
इसका यही कारण है, हम इस दिन ये देखते हैं कि जो हमारी युवा पीढ़ी है उनमें लेखन की रुचि कितनी है और कैसे वह हमारे सामने युवा कवि और कवयित्रियाँ हमारे सामने आएंगे, क्योंकि जो ये नए लिखने वाले होते हैं, आज तुलनात्मक का समय है, आज जो भी शोध होता है तुलनात्मक अध्ययन होता है, तो ये शोध के लिए बहुत बड़ा अवसर है, क्योंकि हम इसमें ये देखते हैं कि नए बच्चे, नए कवि, नए कवयित्रियाँ किस तरह के लिखते हैं, किन समस्याओं को लेकर लिखती है.
Highlighting the problems which the Hindi language faced in Kashmir, Associate Professor of Hindi Department Dr. Zahida Jabian said that language does not belong to any religion.
वहाँ पर भी ईश्वर की कृपा से ही, अल्लाह ताला की रहमत से ही हमने फिर से एक चार चांद, जैसे आप ही हमारे चांद हो, लगाने में हम सफल हुए हैं. उसके लिए भी हम सब बधाई के पात्र हैं. और ये भी हमें खुशी हो रही है कि ऐसा नहीं है कि पहले माना जाता था हिंदी है, हिंदुओं की भाषा है, उर्दू है, मुसलमानों की भाषा है. हमने इसको गलत साबित कर दिया. हमने ये साबित कर दिया कि हिंदी जो है या कोई भी भाषा जो है किसी धर्म से संबंधित नहीं है. भाषा उसकी है जो उसको सीखता है, जो उसको अपनाता है. और हमने हिंदी को अपनाया है और हिंदी ने हमको अपनाया है. और इसीलिए ये भी देखने की खुशी की बात है कि हमारे यहाँ लगभग हर धर्म के छात्र हैं और अधिकता तो मुस्लिम वर्ग की ही है.
Dean School of Arts, Languages and Literatures Professor Adil Amin Kak lauded the efforts of teachers in revitalizing the Hindi department.
With time, मतलब जो मैं आज देख रहा हूँ, काफ़ी हद तक जो हिंदी डिपार्टमेंट है वो काफ़ी ग्रो हो गया है और उसका क्रेडिट मेरे ख्याल में टीचर्स को जाता है, जिन्होंने इन रोज ट्राइंग टाइम्स भी काफ़ी मेहनत कर ली, काफ़ी आगे बढ़ा दिया इसको. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई शुड अप्रिशिएट देम. इन्होंने हाँ एक बात कर ली कि इन्होंने स्टूडेंट इनटेक जो है उसको बढ़ा दिया, बाकी चीज़ों का ख्याल रखा, लेकिन थोड़ा सा ये आउटसाइड द यूनिवर्सिटी और विद इन द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इन्होंने शायद उतनी कोशिश नहीं की जितनी करनी चाहिए. मगर एक बात है कि इसके बाद मतलब हमारे 1-2 हफ्ते बिजी हैं, तो मैं चाहता हूं कि रूबी जी आके मुझसे बात करें और बाकी फैकल्टी मेंबर्स भी, और हम एक प्लान बना दें जिसके हिसाब से जो हिंदी है मतलब इसको वो वाला importance मिलनी चाहिए जो ये डिजर्व कर लेती है, like any other language.
Head Department of Sanskrit Dr. Muhammad Mirajuddin opined that as long as Hindi is not mandatorily taught in school, it will not grow.
कोई भी भाषा या कोई भी विषय तभी आप लेते हैं जब वो रोजगार उन्मुखी होती है. अगर उसमें रोजगार नहीं है तो कोई नहीं लेगा. सिर्फ कहने से नहीं होता, इसको व्यवहारिक तौर पर अपनाना पड़े. मुझे बताइए हिंदी कितनी स्कूलों में राजकीय विद्यालयों में कश्मीर में पढ़ाई हो रही है? राष्ट्र की एकता के लिए, अखंडता के लिए एक भाषा अवश्य होना चाहिए, क्योंकि भाषा संस्कृति का संवाहक होती है। आप कश्मीरी नहीं जानते लिखना पढ़ना, लेकिन आप कश्मीरी बोल लेते हैं, समझ लेते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि मातृभाषा है।
A 9-day training program organized for women entrepreneurs concluded at the Varsity. The Department of Social Work organized this training program in collaboration with the Usha International, an organization working for empowerment of women entrepreneurs under its Usha Silai School initiative. Saying he is impressed with the training schedule, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed stressed the importance of earning for women, adding it gives them a kind of respectability in their society.
एम्पावरमेंट कि आप लोगों की जो है सोसाइटी के अंदर में एक वक़्त रहे, उसके लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। और आपके घर में, आपके परिवार में, आपके पड़ोस में भी आपकी एक इज़्ज़त बने कि आप खुद से अपने आप के लिए रिसोर्सेज जनरेट करती हैं, खुद से आप अपना खर्च उठाती हैं, घर वालों को हेल्प करते हैं। तो यही बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट का। अगर लड़कियां नहीं पढ़ती हैं, उनको कोई हुनर नहीं होता है, तो उनके आप ज़्यादा जानती हैं मुझसे कश्मीर में या हिंदुस्तान के दूसरे हिस्सों में किस तरह से एक्सप्लॉइटेशन होता था या होता है। और जो पढ़ लिख लेते हैं, ये जो एक अच्छा ट्रेनिंग हो जाती है, कुछ सीख जाते हैं, तो उन बच्चियों को एक इज्जत मिलती है।
Registrar Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir assured the DSW that a separate center will be constructed for this skill-based course so that these ladies are able to show and sell their work.
सेंटर हम अलग थोड़ा बहुत क्रिएट करें, जितने पैसे हमें उसमें लगेंगे वो हम देंगे। और साइमल्टेनियसली एक प्रोडक्शन हाउस भी हम बनाने जा रहे हैं इंशाल्लाह। ज़ुकुरा में एक प्रोडक्शन हाउस भी बनेगा जहाँ पर एक डिस्प्ले भी होगा। और अगर कोई आएगा भी, मैं जैसे हमने देखा है बाकी कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में हमने देखा है सर, वो जो आगरा की यूनिवर्सिटी है वहाँ भी हमने देखा है कि वहाँ बच्चे जो काम करते हैं देन दे पुट इट ऑन डिस्प्ले। एग्जीबिशन भी कभी कभी होता है और नॉर्मल में भी वैसे बिकते हैं।
Earlier in his welcome address, Coordinator Department of Social Work Dr. Adil Bashir credited Vice Chancellor for introducing this skill-based training program in the university.
It has been the brainchild of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and which I see now a movement spreading in every district. It was started in district Srinagar, spread out to now district Ganderbal, then to Badgam, and now again sir planning to Bandipora. So it is spreading out to different districts of the Kashmir Valley. And sir, today's training program was for those trainees who have been trained by the Usha Silai schools. Basically, they have been trained by the Usha Silai schools, which were established by the department and the Usha International. So it is having now a ripple effect. It is the impact of this training is moving down to districts, moving down to different areas. So we call them as the satellite schools. The outcome of these Usha Silai schools now is the establishment of the satellite schools. And these satellite schools, they have been set up in district Ganderbal and district district Srinagar.
Assistant Professor Dr. Shazia Manzoor told participants that the university is not confined to teach but to develop communities as well.
जो टेलरिंग है ये आपके लिए एक लाइवलीहुड, आपका एक इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट भी होगी, लेकिन आपको उसके साथ साथ बाकी कनेक्शंस भी देखनी है। जैसे आप में से हो सकता है किसी ने अपनी पढ़ाई मिडवे छोड़ दी है, तो अगर आप चाहे तो आप किसी दूसरे कोर्स में, चाहे डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन के मोड से या कोई कोर्स होता है वो भी आप एड ऑन कोर्स कर सकते हैं। तो क्योंकि आपको ये समझ में आया होगा कि यूनिवर्सिटी जो है वो सिर्फ डिग्रीज या ग्रेजुएट्स और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स कोई नहीं बनाती है। हम ये भी चाहते हैं कि जो साथ साथ में हमारे आसपास के कम्युनिटीज़ हैं उनकी डेवलपमेंट भी हो जाए।
One of the trainers also spoke on the occasion.
से जिस डेडिकेशन के साथ आपने यहाँ पे काम किया, मैं चाहूँगी कि आगे भी आप इसी डेडिकेशन के साथ इसमें आगे जाए। आपका जो प्रोग्राम है वो सस्टेनेबल रहे, ये कटिंग एंड स्टिचिंग तक नहीं रहना चाहिए, इससे आगे भी आप इसमें करने चाहिए।
National Service Scheme Wing of the University of Kashmir organized a week-long training for program officers. The training cum orientation program was held under the banner of Empaneled Training Institute, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. NSS Program Coordinator Dr. Musawir, in his inaugural speech while presenting the background of how NSS was formed, said that the training program has been devised to confront two major problems of Kashmir.
The first is drug addiction among our youth, which has attained alarming proportions in the UT. And second is disaster management, given the climate and the geography of the UT. During this winter, there was a massive snowfall and it was declared as a natural disaster. Our other major issues like gender violence, juvenile justice and pollution will also be taken care of during the program.
Dean School of Arts, Languages and Literature, Professor Adil Amin Kak, said that drug addiction and mental health issues are considered taboo and as such are not reported.
Now, when I was thinking about it, how exactly can you handle something like that? Both of these are considered taboo in our society. If there is a drug addict and the person wants to go for de-addiction, first of all, he has to confess that he is an addict. Then he has to go for, the remedial measures. Same is the case with mental health. Mental health is considered a huge taboo. Even if some person has a problem with mental health, it's very difficult for him to confess it. Or even if he does confess it to his family members, it's very difficult for the family members to, take it out and discuss it with anybody. Most of the people who have psychiatric issues, they normally, take their children, whosoever has this problem, to neurologists, either because of confusion between psychiatry and neurology, or maybe the taboo associated with it. Some sort of a center for drug addiction, some sort of a center for mental health and those physical issues, they should be taken care of within the university in certain prescribed cells, and more attention should be given to them.
In his presidential address, Dean College Development Council Professor G.M. Sangmi emphasized the need to empathize with society.
Don't give a person a fish, but teach him how to catch a fish, to enable him, to empower him throughout his life. Through NSS, I believe there's a lot of you can contribute. For instance, we have social evils in the society. If you are in a position to inculcate a separate to the minds of the students, you have to demonstrate that. That cannot be. वाज से नहीं हो जाता है और बातें करने से ये चीजें नहीं होती. There should be a reference point. For instance, dowry. How many dowry deaths are there? We are talking dowry is an evil, but at the point of accepting or demanding it, that time we are at the forefront. What we do in NSS, what we learn in NSS, let me share with you, that has a far-reaching consequences and impact on the psyche of the students. And that should be.
Special guest on the occasion, Principal Magistrate Juvenile Justice Board, Srinagar, Ms. Tabassum Kadipare, said that apart from drug addiction, the mental health issues, there is another grave problem to which attention must be focused.
And third is runaway marriages. Although it's not being reported so much in our media, but yes, we do have many cases of runaway marriages which are children are below 18 years of age. The boy is 16 or 17 and girl is 14 or 15. Yes, we do have such cases. I was attending one of the sessions here only in Gandhi Bhavan 2-3 years back. It was with Social Welfare Department and media. And one of the resource persons from media reported that we have so much of percentage of rape cases in Kashmir. So, everybody was like, oh, so much. So there is so much of this. But believe me, I told them whenever an FIR is lodged and whenever the girl is brought before us, it's always that it's out of her own consent that she has left.
Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed flagged off a 2-week study tour of students to various parts of North India. Earlier, speaking to the students who are part of this, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed told them to take this itinerary as an opportunity to explore things.
Jaisalmer, why I asked you, Jaisalmer is very famous for a sandstone which is flexible sandstone. वो आप पत्थर जैसे ईंट होता है ना, उसको यूं कर सकते हैं आप, जैसे रबर को करते हैं. तो वो सब चीज़ें जब तक आप प्लान करके जिस डिपार्टमेंट के, अब जैसे हिस्ट्री वाले से आपको पूछना चाहिए कहाँ जाएं, क्या करें, क्या देखने का है, उसकी क्या हिस्ट्री है, जैसलमेर फोर्ट है वो कब बना है कि नहीं, तब जाके मतलब इस तरह से स्टडी टूर हैज़ टू बी स्टडी टूर. इट्स नॉट कि आप रास्ता काट करके घूम के आ गए वापस.
Congratulating the Department of Students Welfare for organizing a study tour for the students, Registrar Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir reminded students that they are going as ambassadors of the University of Kashmir.
Definitely Kashmiri students are considered as the best brains in India, but unfortunately we couldn't explore the possibilities, or we couldn't exploit our potential to the fullest. So I hopefully this visit to different states, you will go as ambassadors of Kashmir and as ambassadors of Kashmir University. Both you have to take into consideration that you will give a good message about the social setup, about the educational values of Kashmir University and rest of the valley. So I definitely expect that you will go at goodwill ambassadors to the rest of the status.
Welcoming the Vice Chancellor, Dean Students Welfare, Professor Rais Qadri said that this tour will hopefully give students an idea of how cultures foster amenity.
I hope this tour will kind of give a kind of a different ideology regarding the Indian culture and the heritage. So I wish you all the very best.
Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed unveiled the poster of this year's Sonzil. Sonzil is Vasti's annual literary, art, music and cultural festival. At least 20 events will be held during week-long Sonzil, which will commence from March 20th. For registration, students can log on to university's website or visit the office of Department of Students Welfare. That's all for today's episode. Log on to our website emrcsrinagar.org, where you can check the latest episode of Quest. You can also watch it on our YouTube channel, that is KU Television. Signing off with the thought of the week. Who you are is defined by what you're willing to struggle for.